everyone, I'm Terri. I'm the author of the Emmie and Friends series, and I hope you all are enjoying the summer as best as you can. I know these are very strange circumstances, so it's definitely not easy. Hopefully you guys are reading a lot and filling your time that way. So I decided to make this video because I get a lot of reader emails and letters, and kids tend to ask me a lot of questions that kind of overlap. So I thought it might be kind of fun to just do a video and answer your questions, answer a lot of these types of questions this way. So let's dive in. I've got quite a few of these. So the first question that I get a lot is, are there any helpful tips about being a writer or being an artist or a cartoonist? Any tips that you can give me? Well, actually, there are quite a few. I have some up on my website. But just off the top of my head, I would say the best thing to do is to practice, as well as read a lot, see what kinds of writing and art styles you really like, who your influences tend to be. Just gathering all that information is really helpful, and it helps you to eventually develop your own style. One tip that I always give everyone for both art and writing as well is if you feel like you get stuck, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to walk away for a while. Just kind of clear your head, get away. If you can stop working on it for a few days or even weeks, or sometimes even just hours does it, and just step back in, and you'll see everything usually with clearer eyes. And that definitely helps me a lot. So another question that I get is, what character do you most relate to? That's very easy. For me, it's Emmie from Invisible Emmie. That was my first book, and the way I wrote it, I decided to just sort of go back in time and think of how I felt as a 13-year-old girl. Even though I don't remember every situation I was in fact, I have an awful memory, so I definitely don't remember all the details, but I remember the feelings I had at that time. I was very shy and quiet, and I tended to express myself artistically. So just pulling up those feelings again and writing from that voice just helped. I started writing the book, and luckily, as I wrote, a story kind of developed as I went along. And so yeah, that's basically it. I am Emmie. Emmie is me. We are one and the same. Another question I get is, what is your favorite book? So I always tell people that's really hard for me to decide, because it's almost like choosing among your children. You can never choose a favorite. It's just wrong. And honestly, I really don't think I can pick a favorite. I love each of these books for all different reasons, but I can tell you which of the books were my favorites to write. I definitely enjoyed writing Jaime and Brianna. I would say probably those two I enjoyed writing the most. I also loved writing Invisible Emmie, but I really didn't know what I was doing or where I was going, and eventually I had to tweak a lot of it. But with Jaime and Brianna, the stories just kind of spilled out of me, and they were both inspired by real life events. Just Jaime was inspired by something that happened to my daughter back in 8th grade. It's very loosely based on that, but it definitely sparked that idea. And Becoming Brianna was also inspired by mine and my daughter's bat mitzvahs. We all went through them. And like I said, they just kind of wrote themselves. So let's see, another question. What are the tools that you use? So when I draw for all the books, when I do all the artwork, I use a stylus. It's a digital drawing pen, and I draw right on a Cintiq, which is a digital drawing tablet. And I find that I just work best using that tool. It makes it easier for me because I like to work fast and very graphically, and it's easy for me to send to my editor electronically. So It's a lot of fun. Another question is, where do you get your ideas? I think that's a question that every author is asked all the time. And I think it's such a general question. It's kind of hard to really answer in a general way. I guess another way of phrasing that would be what inspires you? Where do you get your inspiration? So I'm usually inspired by things that happen to myself or that happen to other kids or my own kids, anything that kind of comes from real life. I tend to work best when I write autobiographically. So anything I can kind of glean from my own life always helps because I always remember my reactions as well to those situations. For instance, in my first book, Emmie, there was a note incident, and that was actually taken directly from my own life. I changed it up a lot, but it was definitely something that happened to me. It happened when I was a little younger, when I was probably about 10 or 11. But that experience was just perfect. It was the perfect embarrassing incident. So things like that always helps. Another question that I don't really get this question very often, but often enough that I feel like I have to answer it. So why do the characters Katie from Invisible Emmie, and Celia is kind of the mean girl from Just Jaime, why do they look alike? And honestly, I don't know. It's just a weird coincidence, and part of me thinks, oh, if I could go back in time, I probably would have changed up Celia a bit so she doesn't look too much like Katie. But it's just one of those strange things that I was aware of after the fact. But yeah, they are two different characters, and they really shouldn't look that much alike, but they do, unfortunately. But they are definitely two different characters. The next one is, will there be a book 5? And I'm happy to tell you there will definitely be a book 5. I work on a yearly schedule, so book 5 will come out next May, 2021. And I'm working on it right now. In fact, I'm just getting started on it. So hopefully you guys are just giddy with anticipation. Although I just thought of one that I can answer. Sometimes I'll get asked, do you have any kids or siblings or pets? So as I mentioned, I do have kids. They're both quite a bit older. One is in college and one is in high school, both daughters. They are amazing, I must say. And I have 2 siblings. I have an older brother and an older sister, and they're kind of like the siblings in Invisible Emmie who aren't really there. They're in the book, they were college age and they were out of the house, and it was really the same for me growing up. I was a lot younger, so I felt like an only child most of the time. Although I will say my siblings and I are definitely close now, which is wonderful. And as far as pets go, yes, we just got a puppy during quarantine. We got a quarantine puppy. Her name is Rosie, and she is a poodle. And she is rowdy and sweet and devilish all at the same time. And we love her very much. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this. And I have a feeling I'll be making another video sometime down the road, but hopefully this has answered quite a bit of your questions for now. Guys, everybody take care. Have a great summer. Stay safe. Bye-bye.